Okay, how do you tell a good M8 crank from a bad M8 crank? Mileage has nothing to do with it. So this crank here is supposed to have 200 miles on it. Customer bought it as being a good part. And the rods are not supposed to be sitting upright like that, not moving. So everything felt good, except it was a little snug. And then I went to put the bike and motor together and it got snugger. This has a Timken bearing conversion on it, so I had to make that work. You have to grind this dowel pin down here shorter because it hits on the Timken conversion plate. So you grind it down flush here, but anyway, that's a side problem. But anyway, this rod here, see, usually that loosens them up, but see, this one's so tight, even that's good. See, now it looks good, see? When you buy the crank, you get it, it all looks really nice. You feel it. You can hear the clearance. It's got a little clearance in it. The bottom one down here does not have clearance. See, you don't hear it. See that one, you can hear it. This one should have twice as much. It doesn't have any. So right off the bat, I told him it was tight. He said, oh, that's all right, it's only got 200 miles on it. Okay. It's not my bike, it's your bike. So it has no clearance, means it's tight. Now the next thing is you should be able to slide the rod side to side if it's loose. Obviously this is not slidable because it's tight. It should be able to slide side to side real nicely. So if you don't have any of those things going along when you buy a crank, it's no good. So if you have a tight rod, it's not good, and if you can't move it side to side, it's not good. And we're not even getting about how to whack they are for truing, but so this one here felt all right. It wasn't locking up or anything until I assembled it, and then it started locking up. So usually I check the truth of the crank before I put the motor together, but the customer said, nope, it's good, leave it, put it in. Okay, it's your motor, not mine. Should have checked it right in front of them, but anyway, there you go. That's my fault for not proving them bad right from the get-go. Okay, now, you'd think a new crank could be true. Well, Harley thinks 8 thou out of whack is true, so what can you say? Now, as soon as you go to start rotating this thing, the crank locks up. So you're just going like this, it's tight right here, you can feel it. This one here is alright. Now, if you go over here, this rod's nice and clearance, works good. They're both loose right here. That's how it felt when I first got it. But once you start working with it, it gets tight. So right now you can feel the rollers a little tight on the middle rod, and you can feel a little bit on this one. You can feel there's like a tight spot in there. It's not really locked up yet. Now as soon as you start rotating this, you can watch these needles moving, tells you it's not true. And then the crank just locks up instantly. And it stays locked. Usually it breaks free as soon as you move one of the two rods. This one does not ever get loose again. See, it just locks up solid, not just solid lock. So this has got a solid 2 lines over there. This one's like 3 lines. So the rods are locked. They're not supposed to be staying put. There they go. They freed up there. So if you put this bike together, it's going to be a little bit of a shaker, which is normal for a twin turd and an M8. Obviously. Yeah, these rods are definitely snug. You're not supposed to do that. If you go backwards, it works a lot better until it gets tight that way. You probably get about 3 turns or so when it gets tight again. Not yet. Pretty good. Oh, there it goes. So. It's a screw-in action. The center rod's tight, so as it screws one way or the other, it locks up the other rods. What's happening? Because we know the female rod has got clearance in it until you lock it up. Okay, so how's this thing bent? Let's see here. So it is spread out. So it's like this from the rods. So it's wide on the bottom. So you can squeeze it up and make it truer. But the rods are still tight. They're not going to get any better. You can make the crank truer, but you can't fix the rod problem until you take it apart and fix it. So, like I said, you can do this kind of stuff here and dick around with it and true it up a little bit. That took out half of it right there. And it locks up, obviously. Makes it hard to rotate. Camera high, still right dead on the bottom. This one is high in a different spot. It's high at 90 degrees. So that means you have a little bit of twist to it. So to get that out, you gotta beat it a little bit. Like this. About the same. Yeah, that didn't move it because it's tight. It takes more than that to make it move. These things are pressed together. It takes force. A lot of it. Twist this doesn't just come right out. Still about the same. Oh, this one moved. She's tight on this side. Oh, it moved. It actually moved it. Oh, it went too far. When it moved, it moved. Give it about a half a hit to go back. It'll probably go back with half a hit. This is more for my pleasure doing this because I like beating on shit, so there you go. It's hard to deal with the rods locking up though. This is going to be a problem with the bike running because this is happening when the bike's running too. It's going to tear the crank up, so what's going to happen. Okay, that one's on the bottom. And this one's right here. It went back to the other side a little bit. But it's 180 out, which is hard to fix. That's hard to get out. It's on the bottom. Yep, there we go. Where are we at? Kind of 90. Bottom. On the bottom. Yep. Okay, so now they're kind of straight. Now they need to be compressed to equalize things. Where's our crank pin at? The crank pin's over here actually. Gives a good squeeze. Then give a little bit of a hit to kind of make it happy with what squeeze is. Gotta shock it a little bit to give it a new memory. Alright, let's see if that did anything. Not much. This side got a little better, but the other side not too good. It did move though. That thing's hard to move. Not really. Same spot. Most of the air is on this side over here. Yeah. It's right about in here is where the problem is. About in that spot there. Yeah, there we go. I got something to happen. Same spot it's always been. This one's about here, which is a little bit further up. They're a little bit different from each other. There, there. Come on, rotate. Ugh. It's hard to do a rod. It's hard to chew a crank when the rods are not letting you rotate. Okay, that's kind of centered up a little bit. How's this other side? Up there they go. It's about over here. Yeah, it's definitely higher up. Get that to move a little bit. Looks good. Squeeze play. It's a lot of pressure. A little better. Same spot. Past. Looks like it has been for a while now. Come on. There. Yep. The parameters have not changed. One there. One there. Slightly better, but damn, that thing's hard to rotate. Same thing on that side. Yeah, didn't change. Didn't hit it hard enough. Center. Looks like they're equal. And they're moving together at least. Yeah. Same basic problem. It needs a good fair amount of movement. The old compression. Put a hydraulic press and get more pressure. That's probably what needs to get done to really do this correctly, but that's as much as I can get out of that thing. That's as much as we can get. Yeah, same problem. Alright, I'm getting a little better, but not really making any real changes here yet. Yeah, it's going to have to get some serious amounts of compression over there to get that thing to go. This one keeps kind of moving off center slightly. Needs to go in the hydraulic press really to do it. And that's better. I got two lines here, one line over here, so it's better, but it's, I need to put it in the hydraulic press, which I don't really want to do right now. So it's the same spot right there on that side. This one's right over here. They're almost 180 apart from each other, which is really hard to take out. The problem is it just cranks tight anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's academic. I worked on it a little bit, fixed it slightly, but it still has to come apart. It's not like it really is any good. So, anyway, like I said, when you're looking for these cranks, this is kind of crap you're looking for. Tight rods are tight rods. It doesn't matter what you do. It's going to be a constant problem. Every time the bearing wants to lock up, it's screwing sideways is what's happening because it's so damn tight and it just binds up. And you keep running it like that and forcing it through with the motor running. All it's going to do is just keep wearing and wearing and wearing. Eventually it's going to flake the rods out, and then one of those rods is going to get really, really loose. Probably the big male one, because it's the one's the problem. And it'll eat it up, and it'll start getting a bunch of up and down in it and start making a lot of noise. If you go back and look at that orange bike I worked on, that's the problem we hit on that bike. The front rod went out on it. Probably from the same reason this is. It's tight. Keep running it, it gets loose eventually. Problem is, it's not the kind of looseness you want. So, came in for a bad clutch, kept tearing the motor apart until he found the problem. The connector rod went up and down like that. It was junk. Big time. So, anyway, that's what this one's going to do. 200 miles makes no difference. Junk is junk. Could have 100,000 miles on it, doesn't matter. When it's junk, it's junk. So, it needs to come apart. Need to go in and hone the rod out, get it round again, get it sized for clearance, put it all back together and screw it straight, and that's how you fix them. Problem is that takes a lot of effort and time, costs money, ain't cheap. So those are $1,000 plus jobs these days, what these guys are charging around here to do that kind of stuff. Some people are charging $1,500 to do that kind of work. But you can buy a whole new S&S crank for a couple grand or less and fix the problem for good. That's how you should fix it. Alright, well there you go. Needs the case it's going to go into, some kind of a show bike. So, alright, that's it for now. So, keep your eye out for good cranks and bad cranks. That is not a good crank. Looks good, but not good. There you go.